From one new star to the next. Next up we have Tricky Cyrus. And there's his friend Super Ninja Jade following behind him for his intro, wishing Tricky good luck. Tricky has been competing since Tournament 18 and has had a lot of success here on Spartan Sasuke, especially recently. Tournament 20, he got all the way to the final jump of the third stage. In the last tournament, he failed the Iron Thrones. Tricky aims to reach the final stage this tournament. That has been his dream for ever since he started competing here on Spartan Sasuke. Ever since he's gotten into Ninja Warrior, he's always wanted to get to a final stage. And now let's see if Tournament 22 can be that tournament for Tricky Cyrus. The British new star into the Jumping Spider. He's never failed this obstacle before. Tricky into the Jumping Spider nicely, looking into the third ledge. Heading into the fourth ledge. Looking into the fifth, and Tricky Cyrus looking into the Captain Swing. Tricky's into the first one nicely. Getting that swing moving as he enters the second one. Tricky nicely into the Captain Swing. He's got 25 seconds left as he heads into the pit stop. Tricky doing a safe jump on the first one. Goes for the second. Doing another safe jump. The more safe jumps you do, the more time it's going to cost him. And he's going to pick up the pace here on the remainder of the obstacle. Tricky is up the warp wall 1. 6.3 seconds left on the clock. And we're going to have double-digit clears this tournament thanks to Tricky Cyrus. Tricky clearing this first stage for his third tournament in a row. Well done to Tricky Cyrus. A very good run from this British new star. And he's going to move on to the second stage once again. Well done to Tricky Cyrus. Did not stop here, as his fellow new star Tricky Cyrus would run immediately after and follow that up with another clear on the second stage, doing so with 3.5 seconds left on the clock. After Tricky, we had from one new star to the next. Next up, we have Tricky Cyrus, and there's Chumpy, Jake, and I believe Kaden wishing Tricky good luck before a big run. Tricky failed the Iron Thrones in the last tournament, and the tournament before that failed the final jump of the bar glider, which it was back then. Jump ahead to the swing edge as Tricky Cyrus completes the second obstacle. On now to the Curtain Clink High. This obstacle has never given Tricky any troubles, but Tricky does not want to fail early. You know he wants to get far. It is his goal to get to the final stage. It's been his dream ever since he got into Ninja Warrior, and he has a chance to do so tonight. Tricky Cyrus on now to the Lunatic Cliffhanger. Into the second ledge nicely. He has never failed this obstacle before, but it is such a tough obstacle. He's going to get the spring jump going into the third one. Now looking into the fourth ledge. Tricky does not get a spring, but he gets a good jump nevertheless. Now eyeing down the fifth one, heading towards the end of that fourth ledge. Gets into the fifth ledge nicely, and now one ledge left to go. He's looking at that. He's shooting it. He's pretty worried about this jump. But let's see if he can get through it. No one has failed the cliffhanger yet, which is absolutely insane. Can Tricky beat a fifth this tournament? Gets the safe jump on the sixth ledge nicely, doing a lot of safe jumps there. But Tricky Cyrus is through the Lunatic Cliffhanger, halfway through this third stage. Next up is the Crescent Climb. These competitors are doing so well here on this third stage. No one has even failed the cliffhanger yet. That on its own is very impressive. But let's see how Tricky does on this new obstacle, the Crescent Climb. He's about halfway through this obstacle as he looks down into the sixth crescent. Tricky now looking into the seventh. He's gotten the seventh one. 3 more left to go before a revenge tour on the Iron Thrones. Tricky, you know he wants to get revenge on the obstacle he failed last time, but he still got this last jump left to go on the Crescent Climb. But now for the obstacle he failed in the last tournament, this is the Iron Thrones. Can he get his revenge? Tricky Cyrus gets into the second ledge. Alright, he's got 3 ledges left to go. Tricky, no, he jumps up short of the third one. Tricky Cyrus has failed the Iron Thrones yet again. 2 tournaments in a row, the Iron Thrones has taken him out, and he's failed even earlier than he did in Tournament 21. This time going out on the third throne, he misaims going into the third throne, just aimed a little too far to the right.
Not again! No!
No!
Dead.
No! And it happens again.
I cry every time.
Tricky devastated with that run. You know he wanted to get to the final.